This is genuinely one of the weirdest feelings I've had in such a long time. Getting the SP404 back out again, the SX, it just feels absolutely bizarre. And the fact that I've got this out, I'm wearing my green hat, this is very sort of 3 years ago SP vids. All sorts of weird feelings going on at the moment. But yeah, I thought I'd get this out and have beat making with an old friend. So I'm here with Koala. I've hooked up Koala into this. Now, all you need is this little adapter here, which I've got, which does USB-C to 3.5mm jack, is that correct? Yeah, 3.5mm jack, and then that goes to phono, so I can go straight into the back of this. So I can start running Koala through the SP and see what the effects still sound like, and just touch these buttons again, because I'm being absolutely genuine now. This is the second time I've plugged this in since I got the Mark II, and the only reason why I did it the other time was because someone asked me a question on SP vids. So let's get external source going. I have got a few kind of master bus effects on Koala here. I've got a bit of compression, nearly about half. I've pulled down on the vibraflange a little bit, and I've got a little bit of filter, and I've got those on hold. So they're all acting as kind of master effects on Koala. I haven't added anything on the SX yet, so let's just see what this sounds like. Do like that loop. I think that sounds pretty fresh, and everything's kind of in time. There's no little weird glitches. Sometimes with your chops you have to work around little glitches and stuff that you're getting, but it seems to be working all nice at the moment. So let's check out what it sounds like with some drums. So even vanilla without any effects on the SX, that's actually sounding quite nice. And one of the main things that I think stands out about this beat which I've been making is the snare. So I've EQ'd the snare, this is the sample. And if we go into edit and look at EQ, I've rolled off quite a lot of the highs there. And I've just kind of brought the mids down a little bit as well. And that's given it a really, really nice snap. So I'm liking the sound of that quite a lot. And then let's play around and start adding some effects. Now, first of all, the screen is absolutely freaking me out because it's red for a start and I can't see anything on it. It's not giving me any information whatsoever. So it just proves how much I've got used to the Mark II, because this is just kind of fascinating me in a way. It's so bizarre how little information we used to get on the SX. A shout out to all you guys still on the SX and the A. This is definitely much harder work than the Mark II. So let's try and add some effects. And of course, there's no effects menu on the screen. You have to just remember the numbers, and we've got them listed down here, which is awesome. I want to try 16. I always remember vinyl sim sounding pretty nice. So let's try some vinyl sim on this. Whoa. I think that actually sounds better than on the Mark II, because I think the noise generator is just a little bit more forgiving. It's a little bit softer. Can just crank that up a bit. That's got a nice sound to it. Nice. For some reason on the Mark II they switched around the direction of this. So it actually, to me, has always made more sense to go the way that it does on the SX and the A, where if you add... Whereas if you go this way, kind of filters out. It's kind of like a high pass filter in a way. That noise gen sounds absolutely sweet on the SX. I completely forgot about that. And obviously we've got to try some compression. So that's MFX12, I remember that. And instead of using the dial at the top, I always use the pads. It's just a lot easier. And how do you do it if you want to get to the second menu? Do you press both? Yeah, so you press DJ FX Looper and MFX at the same time if you want to get to the second half of the effect. So back to 12 compressor. Let's see what this SX compressor sounds like. I can't remember at all, so let's give it a go. And one thing that I do think where the Mark II comes into its own is the effect stacking, because I would love to add the vinyl sim on the top of that as well. I think that would sound absolutely amazing if we had the vinyl sim and then that compressor on top. I'd have to go ahead and sample that loop in, resample it, and then stack those effects. So I think in terms of workflow, obviously the Mark II is like infinitely better, but that in particular, well, especially for this situation which I'm just in here, that is one of the things that I'm really missing from the Mark II already. But on the whole, I don't think it's actually that bad. Like, this device, it's not a write-off yet. And I think the biggest downfall of the SX is probably kind of finishing beats. It's not very easy to do that. I mean, we're only just getting there with the Mark II, really. So yeah, that's one of the biggest downfalls with the 404. Creating patterns is quite fiddly, and then we're having to export those just by recording. We can't even resample the patterns down onto a pad. That's crazy to even think about that. So yeah, the Mark II has moved stuff on so much. It really is a bit of a luxury that we've got that now. But yeah, I'm still digging the effects on this. I think they sound absolutely awesome. What else could we try? Let's just try jamming some effects. I mean, it's quite complicated with the way I've got things set up here to move my hands into the right places, but let's have a go at jamming some effects. Classic start to a lo-fi track. Just take all the lows out and then bring it in. DJ effects looper. Yes. It's very nostalgic. Still a lot of fun to be had. This will now just infinitely be compared to the Mark II and looked at as inferior, but you can still have a blast with this device, and compared to, say, my PO33, it's way more advanced than that. One of the things that's crazy about this is using the fat pads as well. The whole feel of it just really, really crazy and nostalgic, but it was really nice to get the SP404sx out again and have a little jam with it.